So, Crimson Desert. I've been trying to film this video for like a week now, and I keep on scrapping my recording just because this is such a complicated game to talk about. It's a true mixed bag. I really enjoy it at the point I'm in right now, but I can easily say that this game has had a lot of ups and downs. If not for just the frustrating controls, the story in the beginning is just really painstakingly boring. You're just told to do a bunch of MMO busy work. You're heavily tutorialized.
You walk.
He was right about you. Here. You'll need this. Care for those around you, as you have done for me.
Well, that just happened. And just a lot of the performances at the beginning don't really land and work that well. Cliff's not really that interesting in the beginning of the game. I will say when you pick up from like the Devil Reed story and stuff like that, that's where the characters actually start to get good as we start looking for more of Cliff's missing comrades. That stuff starts to improve a bunch. But you can say in the beginning this game doesn't really have a lot of hooks to grab you into the story. And I can totally see where a lot of reviewers were just like, this game isn't too interesting. And I actually think that it's a good thing that this game is pretty divisive.
What?
It stops people from just like getting this game mindlessly, thinking this game is going to be something it's not. Because in all honesty, this is kind of a quirky, niche game that has a lot of fun stuff you can do if you kind of like sink your teeth into it and really get into the game. It's definitely not a game where it's like you're getting like your Red Dead level story, but it's fine where it's like the main hook of this game is exploration, and that's the thing this game does along with combat, which we'll talk about later in the video.
Well, did you see him?
I love the exploration in the game. I think that's probably like the best part about it. It's just the literal like vistas you can see from the distances, these little like biomes you can peer into, and then when you go into those locations, how the topography of the location just seems to subtly just change and shift and morph into the locations you see when you're looking at these vistas and horizons. And the map is just littered with things to do. I'm always just finding new things to do. I do get the complaint though that there's not enough. If you are looking for like the College of Winterhold type, like I go off on a 5 hour just like quest, like you're probably not gonna find that here. There are side quests obviously, but a lot of them are even kind of like locked out to story progress. And again, if you're not interested in the story, why would I keep going playing it? It's definitely like a weird game. Alright, now I'm talking about something that absolutely just slaps in this game. Just no combat. I just love the combat in this game. I love how it just feels like super Shadow of Mordor like, while also kind of feeling flashy like the old AC games used to be, at least like 3 and 4. But also they just incorporate all these cool like RKOs and like kicks and punches and just cool on combat. I think you can literally like body slam somebody just by double jumping. They also have cool stuff with the armed combat with swords and stuff. Like you can do a cool like shift and right click to do like this stab move that also works on waterfalls. It also looks like really cool when you just see all these destructible environments and all this wood and trees and just people getting knocked into stone, and just like it just feels really cool. It's the brightest part about the game, but I will say you can go hours in this game without fighting, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I kind of like when you're just fighting in this game. It's kind of like people's complaint with Avowed, how it was like I really just like fighting in the game, but I don't really care for any of the quests you do. That's kind of how I feel in this game, at least right now. I'll also say just yeeting people off the mountain is so cool. And also like when you get to kick like animals off the mountain is really awesome. Just the level of actual just like physics and stuff in the game is really cool. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is questing in Crimson Desert. In questing in Crimson Desert might be the most divisive things about the game, because it goes into is the story good or not, and is questing in the game good enough to keep you invested in the world? And the answer to both those questions is not really. Like I said before, the main hook of this game is exploration, and what you're mostly looking for is like gear and stuff. When you're not trying to find gear and stuff, you might as well like do the quests. But I've seen so many people just like, I'm trying to ignore doing the quests as much as possible because they're just not interesting. And I feel like that's what stops a good amount of people from actually like playing this game for more than a few hours, is because in the beginning of the game you have to do all these chores and stuff when you're later doing a lot of the Gray Mane, Howling Hill kind of like camp management system. What you're mostly doing is like talking to people, and then kind of like you're pretty much just like talking to people, and it will either have a simple go here to this location and get this thing and then bring it back to camp, or you learn a mini game that you can do in the world, or do a bounty, or you gotta and this one I actually don't mind, which is like you have to have like one of your other fellow Gray Manes help out around like the towns and stuff like that to kind of get money and to build trust so you can get like more missions and stuff in the game. I don't really mind that because you don't really have to do it. You kind of go from like having to get like certain materials and stuff to having like your other Gray Manes go and get that so you can always explore more. So far I've only put 50 hours into this game, and I've really been enjoying it. I've just started to get to a lot of the management mechanics in the game, the management for your camp and stuff like that, and I think there's a farming mini game somewhere in this game, so we're gonna get to that at some point. But to conclude my thoughts on this game, I have a line at the end of my recording from 2 weeks ago. I don't think anybody can actually confidently recommend this game to anybody, really. Okay, now I said I don't recommend this game to really anybody. I feel like in a couple patches, actually, this game will be an easy recommend to a lot of people, especially when they smooth out a lot of the issues. Now, a lot of the problems are still the story and stuff like that. And like I said in my recording from like 2 weeks ago, a lot of that stuff is hit or miss, and you'll decide in the opening few hours if this is a game you would want to continue or not. The combat's fun. The story does pick up, I will say. It gets more fun and it does ramp up, but it does take some hours to get invested. And the open world is stunning and beautiful to look at most of the time. And yeah, I think if you're playing this on console, it's a pretty good experience from what I've heard. So, I would still keep my statement that I wouldn't really recommend this game yet to anybody. I think in the future this game is actually an easy pickup, but that's just one man's opinion on the game. But yeah, see ya.